watching a global celebration of all things Notre Dame, where we invite you to watch, connect, give, and vote. This is Notre Dame Day, live from the LaFortune Student Center.
Welcome back to Notre Dame Day. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome to hour number 16 of Notre Dame Day, a 29-hour global celebration of the University of Notre Dame. If you're back for our 16th hour, thank you. We promise you this hour's broadcast will not disappoint. My name is Maureen McFadden, and I'm a graduate of St. Mary's College just across the street. I'm here at the LaFortune Student Center on the Notre Dame campus, a few yards away from the university's main building and its iconic Golden Dome. This will be our broadcast headquarters for the next 14 hours as we celebrate all things Notre Dame with alumni, students, parents, friends, and fans around the world. I'm joined here in the studio with my brother and Notre Dame alum, Terry McFadden.
Class of 1983, Masters 1989. We are fortunate enough to work together every day, Maureen and I, and co-anchor the evening news on the local NBC affiliate, WNDU TV. Now, there are still 14 hours, as Mo mentioned, left of live programming, and throughout those hours, we will be featuring some exciting and, of course, wonderful Notre Dame stories. In this hour, we'll be hearing about Notre Dame's work in Haiti. We'll also take a look at some of the frontline research that students and professors in the College of Science are involved in. And two rival residence halls, Farley and Breen-Phillips, will engage in some friendly competition this hour on campus and online.
We'll be hearing from the Dean of the College of Science, Greg Crawford, and Hall of Fame Notre Dame football coach, Parseghian. And we'll also have a live musical performance from Notre Dame's own Rudy Reyes. But first, let's check in with one of our Notre Dame reporters, Ryan Camden. Hey, Ryan, it looks like you might have some guests from a very interesting part of the world.
Throughout the broadcast, Notre Dame Day is really a global celebration, and as we speak, groups from all around the world are getting together to celebrate Notre Dame. And of course, it's now our pleasure to leave LaFortune and the campus to check in on some members from around the world. And at this time, we'd like to welcome the Notre Dame Club of India, who are leading their own Notre Dame celebration themselves. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Could you tell us where you're celebrating and who you're celebrating with?
Hello, everybody. We're celebrating in Mumbai, India, and we are a bunch of 4 or 5 alumni, and though we are 10,000 miles away from you guys, but you're very close at heart.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Sounds like a great time. I want to know, how often do you guys and the alums over there get back to campus?
We try and get back as often as we can. Every time we find an excuse to get back to the U.S., Notre Dame's definitely a stop that's on the agenda.
Awesome, awesome. If you could tell the Notre Dame family one thing they should know about the Notre Dame Club of India on Notre Dame Day, what would it be?
I think what I loved most about Notre Dame was I went to the Kroc Institute of International Peace Studies there, and it was the best ensemble of an international gang doing deep work. And for Notre Dame to give that kind of space to all us crazy people for 1 year was just amazing. All my best friends throughout the world are still from Notre Dame.
That sounds rather incredible. What do you guys love most about Our Lady's University?
By far is the Golden Dome itself. You know, what it means to us, I think it's pretty hard for anyone to understand unless you actually experience your time there. But just the experience under the dome, there's no one thing you can pick out and say, this is what I loved about it. It's a combination of the entire 4 years or less that we were there for.
It's absolutely hard to argue with that. I can't let you guys come on Notre Dame without asking you, what's your prediction for the upcoming football season?
We will win!
Unbeaten and BCS bowl game.
No, we have a really, really good team this year. Let's hope we can do better than last year.
Well, I absolutely agree with those predictions, and I hope they come true. Thank you guys for joining us all the way from India. I hope you have a great time celebrating Notre Dame Day. Terry, back to you.
Ryan, thank you very much. And you may know our next guest is the science guy who has biked across the country, yes, across these United States for each of the past 4 summers, all to raise awareness about a very serious disease, Niemann-Pick type C.
Gregory Crawford is the Dean of the University of Notre Dame College of Science. Dean Crawford recently visited with Hall of Fame Notre Dame football coach Ara Parseghian, and you'll be moved by their conversation. Please watch.
Even now, I find it hard to talk about. We were right in this house, just in the room adjacent here, and it was the fall of 1994. And it was bad enough that the kids all came back, and we had played Michigan and we had lost. And we'd had everybody in here after the game was over, and very disappointed of the game. But later that evening is when Mike and Cindy told us about the 3 children being diagnosed with Niemann-Pick C. And also there was very little in the medical books about it, no cure known, and terminal. And I don't know of anything that's hit me like that. And what it did do was to spur us to begin a foundation to try to find a cure to this mysterious ailment so that no children, parents or grandparents would have to face this terrible experience that we went through. And as a result, the Parseghian Medical Research Foundation was formed, and that's where we've gone forward from that. You know, in football, there are a lot of things that are important, and you learn about the game. Field position, for example, is a simple one. You're either on your side of the field or their side of the field, or you're either on your own 1-yard line or you might be down on their yard line. So when I got to thinking about this as we trying to develop the foundation, I thought, well, this is a little bit like field position. I mean, we're getting the ball on our own 1-yard line, and there's 99 yards to go before we get to the other end and score. And that was, of course, that was our intentions, to find a cure. And when we formed the foundation and we had some successes, and we started to push the ball off that 1-yard line, out to the 5-yard line, out to the 10, past the 20, got to midfield. We got past that into the 40-yard line. When we get to the 40-yard line, you get 4-down area, where you get 4 downs because you may not have to punt or kick a field goal. So that was, I felt then that we were going to be able to find a cure to this thing. But I realized that there are a lot of hoops that you have to jump through before you get there.
The College of Science at Notre Dame established a Center for Rare and Neglected Diseases, and front and center in that research area has been the Niemann-Pick type C, because it affected the Notre Dame family in such a big way, the Parseghian family. And so many of our researchers, our chemists and our biologists, actually study the basic fundamentals of this disease, Niemann-Pick. And it's even gone to the next level, in fact. It's gone to the point where our medicinal chemists have actually identified a drug compound in the laboratory which works on the Niemann-Pick cell lines. And we were able to actually move those into clinical trials here, which will take place this summer. We often like to say at Notre Dame, we'll do whatever it takes to serve those that are underserved. And so if you look at rare and neglected diseases, there's no pharmaceutical companies that'll pick up the cause. Niemann-Pick is just one of 8,000 other rare diseases in the world. There's probably the government's not going to fund Niemann-Pick heavily because there's so many other diseases that affect so many others. And when you're looking at only a few hundred kids, those are definitely children, families that are underserved in this area. So we like to say we do whatever it takes, and whether it's a bike ride or a rugby game or a golf outing or a run, all those funds, whether they're small or big, actually add up and accumulate such that we can actually fund our scientists to do work for this great cause that's so important to the Notre Dame family.
And now it's time to check in with our Notre Dame reporter, Ryan Camden, who is over in the performance area with a very talented performer. Ryan?
Thanks, Terry. Of course, we're setting up here for a very special performance. Right now, we're joined by Notre Dame alumnus Rudy Reyes, who is going to sing a cappella for us. Rudy, take it away.
All right. Thanks very much. And there's a magic in the sound of her name. Here come the Irish
Notre Dame. Well, I remember the leaves are falling and far off music like pipes are calling, and I remember the golden morning. I saw the long ranks as they were forming, and there's a magic in the sound of her name. Here come the Irish of Notre Dame. The pilgrims followed by the sacred waters, and arm go her sons and daughters. The drums are rolling and forward bound, they're calling spirits up from the ground. And there's a magic in the sound of her name. Here come the Irish of Notre Dame.
Well, thank you very much, Ryan. Notre Dame has been working in Haiti for many years. There's some applause for Ryan, and well-deserved. Please watch this next story about the College of Science work in Haiti.
Good morning, Irish Nation. I'm Earl Carter, the new Managing Director of the Notre Dame Haiti program. Optimism in our fight to eliminate lymphatic filariasis, an iodine deficiency disorder, in Haiti by 2020 while ministering in Christ's name has never been brighter. Our university's leadership completed a detailed program review last fall and reaffirmed a commitment to that goal while endorsing all key elements of our program. Let me share with you just a few highlights of our recent progress. The program's founder, Father Tom Streit, is leading our research efforts in country as well as continuing his ministry to the Haitian people. Our salt coke fortification efforts have really taken off the past few months, and the program is moving into a production growth phase under the direction of former Cargill salt executive, our salt program director, Jim Reimer. We hope to leverage new facilities and equipment in order to increase our production of clean, co-fortified salt by an order of magnitude within the next year. Driving this change, in large part, is our recent alliance with Carabex, Haiti's largest food distributor, a relationship which is allowing us, for the first time, to make bone cell daïdi available to virtually all communities and food outlets in Haiti. Still important in the fight to eliminate lymphatic filariasis is mass drug administration, for which Notre Dame, in conjunction with a variety of our international partners, is responsible for drug administration to a large portion of the Haitian population. On the clinical side, the future is also bright in the areas of both lymphedema management and counseling services. Notre Dame alumni have stepped up in a big way, from voluntarily conducting countless surgical procedures to funding counselors for those affected, to introducing us to concerned professionals at another institution that want to partner with Notre Dame to improve quality of life for all those affected by lymphatic filariasis. While the future is bright for the Notre Dame Haiti program, it is due to God's grace and the extreme compassion and generosity of the Notre Dame family. Whether it be in the sharing of gifts or talents, and regardless of the area, salt production, mass drug administration, clinical services, ongoing advocacy and research efforts, or program operating expenses, we encourage you to join the fight against lymphatic filariasis and iodine deficiency disorder. The goal line is in sight, and with the help of your generous gifts, we can take the final steps to win this fight, for we are the Fighting Irish.
And welcome to the Notre Dame studio, Professor Justin Crepp from the College of Science joins us now. And tell us about your latest discovery, NASA's Kepler-1. This is actually a planet.
That's right, yeah. It's Kepler 186f, which means it's the 186th discovery of Kepler, and F means it's the 5th planet in this system. So there are actually 5 planets. They're in a very kind of compact orbital configuration, and the F planet, the outermost planet, the 5th planet, is squarely in the habitable zone, which means that it could have just the right temperature to have liquid water, or water in a liquid phase. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. We call that the habitable zone. And these planets were discovered by looking at the brightness of the star. So Kepler is staring kind of with an unblinking eye at 150,000 stars at the same time. And Kepler 186f orbits every 100 days or so. And we can tell this by the brightness of the star decreasing in time. And this event happens over and over again. We call that a transit. And so this is an important discovery because that planet is not only it's in the habitable zone, but it's the same size as the Earth, 1.1 Earth radii, okay? And it orbits a star that's a little bit lower mass than the sun. And so this star burns its hydrogen very conservatively, very slowly over time. And so that means if you put a planet in the habitable zone around this kind of star, it will essentially stay there forever. The star will burn hydrogen forever, and it will be a very stable habitable zone. So that gives you a lot of opportunity to develop life. We think it took 1 to 2 billion years or so to develop life on the Earth. And this planetary system is already older than our sun, and in fact, it will remain stable for many tens of billions of years, essentially the age of the universe.
You know, we always hear about certain things being discovered on Mars that suggest it could support life. Is this more so? Is this like Mars on steroids, so to speak?
This is another way to try to address that question. Is there life elsewhere? We only have one data point, which is the Earth. And we're searching within the solar system for conditions that might be ripe for the development of life, either now or past evidence. But we're taking a parallel path to attack that question, which is to find other planets around other stars that could have life. So we know the radius of this planet, but we don't know what its atmosphere is made out of because it's a bit too far away. It's about 500 light years away. And so what we're trying to do is kind of stand on the shoulders of Kepler's discoveries and find planets now that are much closer to the sun, closer to the Earth. We know that basically the solar neighborhood is teeming with these extrasolar planets. It's a matter of discovering them. And so at Notre Dame, we're building a new instrument named iLocator to identify these planets. And not only will we be able to get their radius from another NASA space mission, which is scheduled for launch in 2017, 2018, it's called TESS. But iLocator will work in concert with that mission to tell us the mass of the planet, the orbit of the planet, and also we will be able to probe the atmosphere for the first time of these small terrestrial planets to figure out what they're made out of. What is their chemical composition? Do they resemble the Earth? Do they have methane, ozone, the things that we might see as familiar, possibly indicating the presence of life? And so that's kind of where we're going with these studies involving Kepler and then also at Notre Dame. And so this instrument will be built for the Large Binocular Telescope in Arizona, which Notre Dame has access to. It's the largest and most complex optical telescope in the world. And we plan to build the instrument and install it at the Large Binocular Telescope about 2 or 3 years from now. And so we're very excited about that development, those efforts that are going on in the lab in the physics department here at Notre Dame.
500 light years away. Obviously, it's going to be a challenge for you to get there, but do you see this as your life's work now, this Kepler?
I think this is the most important discovery of Kepler to date, but it's only the tip of the iceberg. This is just the beginning. This is tremendously exciting, but there are monumental discoveries that basically await new technologies, and I'm anxious to develop those.
This is very exciting stuff, but I have to get something on record here. He got his doctorate from the University of Florida. Notre Dame plays Florida. Who you pulling for in football?
I've got Notre Dame. I'm buying my season tickets in about an hour.
Probably the next most exciting thing in his life next to the discovery of this planet. It's really been a pleasure to have you here and continued success with this. This is really exciting. Somebody from Notre Dame discovering a planet. It's not exactly plutonium, but it's right up there, correct?
Yes.
All right, Justin, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Maureen, back to you.
All right, Terry, thanks a lot. Now here again is Greg Crawford, Dean of the College of Science, with a message about the mission and initiatives of the college.
The University of Notre Dame has selected several areas where we will invest significant amounts of resources over the next 5 years through Advancing Our Vision initiative. The only requirement is to think big and propel the proposed program or department into the top-tier status in the country. The College of Science was fortunate enough to receive 5 of these big investments: in nuclear physics, big data and quantitative biology, analytical chemistry, mathematical physics, and non-embryonic stem cell research. The investment comes mostly to support new faculty and the needed startup costs associated with recruiting them in these 5 areas. Some of these hires will cross college boundaries. For example, hires in non-embryonic stem cell research also involve the College of Arts and Letters and the College of Engineering. We are looking to attract the best of the very best in the world to Notre Dame. Top scholars, passionate teachers who fit the mission of Notre Dame and hopefully also enjoy our beautiful campus and our wonderful athletics venues. The College of Science is always looking for ways to cross boundaries, to engage others from a wide range of disciplines in interdisciplinary research. One exciting example is neuroscience, the study of the nervous system, which has an obvious connection to biology, but now includes connections to chemistry, computer science, engineering, linguistics, mathematics, medicine, philosophy, physics, and psychology. We are launching a joint degree program this year with the College of Arts and Letters and the Department of Psychology. We anticipate this will be a very popular major, attracting students interested in the structure and function of the nervous system and the brain, as well as those students who wish to go on to medical school. We are so fortunate to have such wonderful colleagues in the Department of Psychology. The College of Science wishes to reach out to all parts of campus through our curriculum. One way we do that is through a multidisciplinary approach. The sustainability minor, for example, prepares students to serve as leaders in their communities, local, national, and global. They learn to make constructive and substantial contributions to the development of more sustainable practices for the benefit of their own personal and professional lives and the lives of others and the lives of future generations. One of the gravest challenges humankind will face in the 21st century is the challenge of forging new relationships with the natural world. Throughout history, people have treated the environment as an unlimited, self-sustaining, and cost-free resource. Historically, humanity's ecological footprint has been small. However, in recent decades, population growth, increased consumption, and related factors have placed great stress on our planet. Sustainability is a big part of our mission in Notre Dame Science, and we are passionate about training the next generation of leaders in this area, regardless of their discipline. Notre Dame Science is passionate about fighting for the underdog. It is part of our mission and part of who we are. We do a lot of research in rare diseases through our Center for Rare and Neglected Diseases. Niemann-Pick type C, or NPC, took the lives of 3 of the 4 children of Cindy and Mike Parseghian, grandchildren of our famous coach, Parseghian. This area of research has been top of mind for our scientists at Notre Dame for more than a decade, even though there is little or no government or corporate money to fund it. We partner with the Parseghian Medical Research Foundation and take on the challenge of finding a cure for NPC because it has impacted the Notre Dame family and because of our mission that reminds us who we are. Those 300 to 400 children with NPC need a voice, and their parents and family members are counting on us for a cure. Our view is that if no one else will fund the research, we will do whatever it takes to meet this need through golfing events, bike rides, runs, boxing matches, frisbee tosses, and even rugby games. One of our researchers, Professor Paul Hellquist, recently identified a drug that is effective in the laboratory to treat NPC. Along with the Era Parseghian Medical Research Foundation and our partners, we will now take this drug to clinical trials. When others say the need is negligible, the market is too small, the numbers won't work, we say we are here to serve. We are Notre Dame. The William K. Warren Foundation has made a $3.5 million gift that will be combined with the previous gift to endow the creation of the Warren Family Research Center for Drug Discovery and Development in the College of Science. The center will be a state-of-the-art resource for a highly productive and renowned group of drug discovery faculty with expertise and interest in such areas as neurological and central nervous system disorders, infectious disease, cancer, and rare diseases. The center will support the organization of chemical research discoveries to create the Notre Dame Chemical Compound Collection and promote biological evaluation of the products through internal collaborations and external partnerships, with the goal of bringing healing therapies to the market. As a result of productive and well-funded research programs in the College of Science and medicinal chemistry in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry at Notre Dame, more than 20,000 unique and potentially powerful chemical compounds are already available for biological screening. The center will expand Notre Dame's entrepreneurial ecosystem by cultivating relationships with other participants in the field of drug development as an important step in moving the center's work beyond preclinical stages to the market more effectively. The translation of basic scientific discoveries into possible new therapeutics is an exciting and growing enterprise at Notre Dame. The work of several world-renowned researchers in medicinal chemistry, chemical biology, and disease-related biochemistry has turned this field into a thriving major research strength for the College of Science. Our biologists, Nicola Chi and Neil Lobo, are leaders of an international $23 million research grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. This grant is the second largest award to a single grant proposal in Notre Dame's history. Their 5-year project will generate the data required to show the effectiveness of a new paradigm, spatial repellency, in the control of mosquitoes. Their work will stop the spread of 2 important mosquito-borne diseases, malaria and dengue fever. Despite decades of organized mosquito control efforts, the diseases caused by these pathogens remain significant global health problems. According to the World Health Organization's latest global estimates, there are over 200 million cases of malaria were reported in 2012, with 50 to 100 million dengue fever infections occurring every year. Both are transmitted through the bites of infected mosquitoes. Spatial repellents may allow us to prevent the spread of disease in places where traditional interventions such as bed nets and indoor residual spraying are not completely effective. We are so proud of Professors Achi and Lobo for their incredible work and passion to serve those in developing countries and doing such a great job in connecting their scholarship with the overarching mission of the university.
Thank you, Greg. And now we have a special message from Dom Challoner, a research associate professor in ecology and a coordinator of undergraduate research in the College of Science. Please watch.
Here at Notre Dame, we have great students doing outstanding research with superlative faculty. Indeed, more than half of science students are involved in some kind of research endeavor in any given year. Students are engaged in a variety of research experiences, often on campus, in the field or in the lab, in all areas of research, including global health, environmental research, drug discovery, nuclear physics, and applied and pure math. However, that research effort takes resources for many different things, including stipend support during the summer, materials to actually do the experiments, and funds to support travel to meetings and research sites. So the more resources that we have available, the more research that students can do here at the University of Notre Dame.
And now a Message from some very special friends of the College of Science. Michael Gallagher is a 1991 graduate of Notre Dame, and his wife Elizabeth is a 1992 graduate of St. Mary's. Their recent gift to Notre Dame has established the Elizabeth and Michael Gallagher family professorships in adult stem cell research. Take a look.
One of our most important strategic research investments is adult stem cell research. This is an area where Notre Dame can be a national and international leader. Notre Dame is unique in that it takes a broad approach to adult stem cell research and examines the issues associated with all forms of stem cell research from a theological, legal, scientific, and ethical point of view. As a Catholic institution, Notre Dame strives to be a force for good in the world and takes its responsibility to advance knowledge in the search for truth seriously. Our alumnus, Michael Gallagher, and his spouse, Elizabeth, who is a St. Mary's alumna, have made a substantial gift to establish Elizabeth and Michael Gallagher family professorships in adult stem cell research in the College of Science at the University of Notre Dame. Their gift will fund 3 new endowed professorships in adult stem cell and all forms of non-embryonic stem cell research, which will strengthen Notre Dame's leadership in the field of stem cell research and enhance the university's effective dialogue between the biomedical research community and the Catholic Church on matters related to the use and application of stem cells and regenerative medicine.
There still aren't known cures for many diseases that adult stem cells could have the potential to cure, whether it's cardiovascular disease, Parkinson's disease, type 1 diabetes. Our son Jack, our youngest boy Jack, who's now about to turn 16, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at age 5. So we're one of those families that's been living with type 1 diabetes for the last, say, 10 years. So we know firsthand how families who are in that situation could benefit from this very important research. The adult stem cell work that's being done around the world and we plan to do at Notre Dame has potential to dramatically impact in a positive way people suffering from those diseases. So as an alum of Notre Dame, I have a special place in my heart for Notre Dame and recognize the great work that can be done there. As the premier Catholic institution in the world, in our mission to do good for others throughout the world, this type of research needs to be done at Notre Dame, particularly with the adult stem cell work. As the leading Catholic institution in the world, we need to lead the debate and lead the research, not only in the science area itself, but on a much broader basis, whether it's the legal issues, the ethical issues, or the moral issues that are surrounding the research.
Now let's head outside to our reporter Justine Ward, who's with this hour's tug of war competitors. Justine?
Good morning, Terry and Maureen. That's right, rain or shine, the dorm competitions must go on. And this morning we have 2 North Quad ladies dorms are going head to head. We have Mary here from Farley and Lindsay from Breen-Phillips. They are both captains. Mary, are you ready for today's competition?
Oh, you know it. We are born ready. We're going to win this thing.
And what is Breen-Phillips' approach today?
To win. And babes love mud, so we're fine with getting dirty.
All right. Why don't you guys go take your places while they're getting ready? I'm going to give you the ground rules for this tug of war competition. Each side can have as many as 18 players. And then this isn't just for fun, guys. There's some money involved. Each team can win up to $1,000 this hour. So with that being said, I'm going to let these ladies get started and hop on out. And he's going to blow the whistle when he's ready. They are just tugging their hearts out. Wow! Pretty quick win for Farley. Mary! As you can see, they're very excited. They just won the tug of war against their neighbor, Breen-Phillips, in this North Quad matchup. Farley with the win. Mary, come on over. Hey! Very confident in this game today. Did you know you were going to win?
Oh, you know, we're angels. We are the finest. We're the finest on North Quad. We're the finest all over Notre Dame. And we love Farley. Farley loves Farley.
All right, well, thank you, Mary. Obviously, these ladies are very excited. I'm going to send it back into you guys in the studio for this next round of competition between Farley and Breen-Phillips. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Justine. And now we're going to continue the competition between Farley Hall and Breen-Phillips Hall with a different game. We have teams from Farley and Breen-Phillips in the studio now for a slightly different feat of skill. It's a new app called Heads Up. Ellen DeGeneres made it popular on her show. Each residence hall has a two-person team. One team member will hold the app over their head, and the other will have to give clues so their teammate can guess the word on the screen. And when you guess correctly, you'll flip the app down to get a new clue. You can also flip the app up to skip a word. So, who's up first? We have Farley Hall going first, so let's find out who their two team members are. Give us your standard Notre Dame introductions.
Hi, my name is Erin Akar. I'm from Tyler, Texas, and I'm a sophomore political science major.
I'm Casey Skevington. I'm from Shrewsbury, Pennsylvania, and I'm a mechanical engineer.
And we're roommates.
Oh, well, that makes it handy, too, so you probably practiced.
Just a bit.
Okay, you ready to get started? You have 60 seconds, so go.
Okay, the Chicks. It's a
Lewis.
Where we watch football, or where we go to the football games.
Stadium?
Yes.
The house.
The Green Blazers.
Duncan.
Yes. Really good basketball player, women's. She's
Skylar Diggins.
Yes. Pass. I'm going to dinner with him at Legends. He led my seminar.
Mug Malloy.
President. Oh, he played New Rockney All-American.
Oh no.
You had it right. Okay, pass.
Reagan.
Okay. Pass. Oh, this was the caught pneumonia football player.
Gibber.
Yes.
George Gibb.
Pass. Okay, the dogs on South Quad.
Alumni.
In front of the library, the mural is of?
Touchdown Jesus.
Yes. The next to Fisher, the girls' dorm?
Pangborn.
Yes.
Time's up. Well, Farley, good job, except Ann Thompson. You should know that one. She just covered the canonization of two popes. She was my roommate after college and a Notre Dame grad, and she's on the board of trustees.
Oh,
so.
no.
Just little information for you there. Anyway, it is going to be tough to beat Farley. Great job. But we are now going to go to Breen-Phillips. And your team names. Are you going to introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if you girls are going to come over and switch spots and put on these microphones. Thank you. Good job, Farley. Oh, and you've already got your microphones.
We have mics.
Oh, say, so Notre Dame introductions from you girls.
All right, well, hi, I'm Kate Lang. I'm a junior living in BP from New Jersey, and I'm an accounting major with a minor in poverty studies.
Very good. How about you?
I'm Allison Hauk. I am a sophomore political science major from Grove City, Ohio.
Very, very good. Okay, are you guys ready to go?
Yes.
Have you been practicing this game?
Nope.
Okay, well, you've got a tough team to beat, but you've got 60 seconds. Go.
Okay, 2, 1. Okay. Oh, not North Quad, but South Quad. Shh, no idea. Pass. Oh, he's the president of the university.
John Jenkins.
I don't know this one either. Pass. Oh, it's the hall where the priests live. No, okay. Oh, it's right next to Pangborn. They used to have
Fisher.
the- Yep. Shit, I don't know this one either. Sorry. Oh, she was the Secretary of State.
Condoleezza Rice.
Yes. Oh, shit. Football player. Named after his last name is named after a state. Begins with an M. Pass. Oh, okay. It's not Keenan Hall, but the one connected to it.
Stanford.
Yep. Okay, it's the new girls' dorm.
Ryan.
Yep.
All right, Breen-Phillips, is there an official? I'm thinking Farley won. I think they just missed the one on Ann Thompson. So. Now, so Farley wins. I would like to ask them how it feels, but they're on mic now. So, yeah. They are. Well, congratulations, girls. You did a good job. Joe Montana, he was in school when we were in school. So,
yes, my dad would be very angry that I missed that one.
That's okay. And before we wrap up our live telecast for this hour, we're going to check in with reporter Justine Ward at the Notre Dame Social Media Command Center. Justine?
Thank you, Maureen. We are finishing up this hour here, and I am joined by Jonathan Rithartha, who has been manning social media. Did you get any sleep last night, John?
I got a couple hours, but you know what? I'm so excited to see all the people joining us on social media. I got to stay up. I got to keep interacting with people. We have folks coming from, gosh, all over the world are watching us right now. We have people watching in Ireland, the United Kingdom, Spain, India, Pakistan, you name it. We're so thankful for everybody that's made their gift and voted. We need you guys to get out there now. We had a great Residence Hall challenge this hour between BP and Farley. They're neck and neck. They were tied up earlier in the hour, so there's still a good 15, 20 minutes left for you to get out there, make your vote, support your Residence Hall. They're coming out for you today in the rain, so it's up to you to go and push them over the edge for that $1,000. It's an additional challenge fund. Let's take a look at what's happening on social media right now. You could see, again, it's really easy to head to NotreDameDay.nd.edu, hit that big green button, and that's what sets you up for our voting process. On social media, we've had some people are getting out there. Coach Mike Bray. Big day at Notre Dame. Participate. Watch the live broadcast from head coach Mike Bray. The registrar's office, they're assembling diplomas today as part of their Notre Dame Day celebration. So big congratulations out there to all the class of 2014. Finally, our leaderboards. Let's get a quick refresh here. 1,168 gifts, over $523,000. Thanks to all of you who have made a gift so far. It's been a great response. We got a long way to go in the day. You can see rowing still on top of athletics. So we need the other. If you support women's basketball, if you support the football team, you got to get out there and get those vote totals up to get that share of $250,000 up. So it's been a great day. We're here all day long in the social media lounge. We're going to have a latte bar up this afternoon, so come on down if you're on campus. Join us. We got plenty of people coming in all day long. It's been a great event so far. And what do we got coming up next hour?
All right, thank you, Jonathan. As he said, we'll be watching you guys, #ND Day. He's been here all night. He's not going to quit now. So we will be watching for your tweets and activity on social media. So let's take a look at what is coming up this next hour, because the fun has only started for this worldwide celebration of Notre Dame Day. So next hour, we have former Indiana Governor Joe Kernan, who is also an ND grad. He's going to be stopping by. We have Dolly Duffy here from the Alumni Association. We also have a live visit with the ND Club of Brazil. We're going to Skype them in all the way from South America because this celebration is continuing around the world. We also have South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg stopping by. And finally, it's now the guys' turn. We have St. Edward's Hall and Zom Hall, and I will be out there live on North Quad to capture all the action in their tug of war. So with that, we're going to end this hour, but make sure you keep your browsers here at NotreDameDay.nd.edu, and we'll see you live at the top of next hour.